So in this video, we're going to talk about how to scale your e-commerce brand to over $1 million per month and still be extremely profitable on the way. Right. So what you're going to watch are the highlights of a consulting call that I just did with over 50 e-commerce entrepreneurs, all doing 7 and 8 figures. Right. So they asked me everything around e-commerce scaling, funnels, conversion optimization, split testing, offers, and all of that. So I'm just going to give you the highlights. Right. So this is literally the recording of a private consulting call that I did with over 50 e-commerce entrepreneurs, and I want to give you free access to this because there are a lot of important learnings. The first thing that we talked about in this consulting call is that I essentially broke down the different stages in the e-commerce growth journey, right? Because from my perspective, there's 3 different growth stages that you need to focus on, and every single growth stage has different challenges, different focuses, and different opportunities that you need to master to then be able to go to the next growth stage. So let me show you this video right now. This, for example, in the beginning would only be like everything, just validating the product market fit, main creatives and channels, right? And essentially having like a 1 or 2 PDPs with a great offer. So this is essentially like the stuff that you focus on in the beginning, right? And then for like as soon as brands do become really big, we then jump into like a lot of, I call it fine tuning and iteration of all of the funnels and pages that work, right? So from, I would say, around like above 500K or even like over $1 million a month, then like the specific A/B testing and iteration of like the elements on page, whether that's the copy, the offer, the messaging, the product images, whether that's the flow of the customer journey, right? Like all of those smaller things do become important. And where most of you guys are at right now in terms of testing, the stuff that I would really focus on is, first of all, the specific offer. Offer has a couple of components for me. Let me just make this a bit bigger. So offer on the one hand side is like, what is the specific value proposition that you deliver to a specific customer avatar, right? So this, for example, can be, okay, let's say just for this example, we do sell, I don't know, collagen, right? A lot of you guys have probably seen collagen supplements. And then this is like for the specific customer avatar of like 30-year-old girls. And their main problems is that they just got out of their teen years, like their skin is going to become worse. Maybe they get wrinkles, they have like less confidence, yada, yada, yada. So you need to come up with a specific value proposition of, okay, we give you this product and it's going to help you solve pain points X, Y, Z and help you get desired transformation, right? So that's like one big part, like what's the specific value proposition. Second big part is obviously pricing, like what's the specific price point. And then the last part for me are the deliverables, meaning the specific products, right? Like, do you just sell one collagen? Do you maybe sell the collagen with a complementary product that gets them better results? Maybe you sell them 2 supplements and then also digital products. So for example, you sell them the collagen and then you sell them skincare, but then you also add a digital product to it, like I don't know, like a video tutorial of how to do the best skincare routine, whatever, right? So those are the main components that I like to focus on in terms of offer testing, right? So in terms of really understanding the customer and being able to resonate with them on a deep level in terms of their current situation with all of the pain points and their desired situation with all of their desires, the specific price point, right? Like for example, you test different prices. And then the last thing is also, for example, building different bundles, right? Like maybe you have like 2 or 3 different product variation on the product page. So that's like the main thing that I would do with offer testing.
Nice.
Answers the question?
I would say.
Yeah. So I would say offer testing is like the number one thing that I would focus on in this growth stage. And then second thing is landing page testing, right? So you guys are probably super familiar with listicles, editorials, and all of that stuff, right? So the second thing is, where do you push the traffic to you from the ads, right? Do you push them directly to a product page? Do you maybe warm them up first with a listicle? We sometimes see this with fashion brands. Like, do you push it to a collection page or do you rather push it to a home page, right? So really thinking about what is the specific ad creative you push out to them? What is the awareness stage of the customer? And then what's the first landing page? Because the landing page really dictates like, how much time are they going to spend on the page? Is it relevant for them? And can you like grab the initial attention that you took with the ad creative and transform it into a conversion on page? So that's like the I would say like those two are really the main things in terms at this growth stage. Okay, so the summary of this is that you really need to nail your offer if you want to scale to that million per month or more, right? You need to make sure that you dial in all of the fundamentals. And as I said, per growth stage, there are different things that you should focus on because as an entrepreneur, you only have so much time, energy, and resources, right? The next video that I'm about to share with you is where I talk about the biggest mistakes that I see people doing with their offer, with their funnels, and their conversion and optimization. The number one thing where I see a lot of people, especially with a dropshipping background, they try to shortcut this. A lot of people just copy and paste something they see work online. And the number one thing that we do and that everyone can essentially do is spend 80. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. Spend 80% of their time into research, right? So this is everything from talking to existing customers, sending out customer surveys, going through your ads under the your comments under the ads that you're pushing out, reading the social media DMs you're getting, reading some of the feedback you're getting, reading the reviews you're getting, right? So really obsessing with understanding your target audience and your customer better than anybody else. And then I would take then 20% to, based on the research, try to think, okay, what can we do for this customer, right? Like maybe right now I'm solving this main pain point, but actually they have a lot of complementary pain points that I could also build out my product portfolio for to even help them thinking about customer lifetime value, right? And then also, if you have like a really, really great customer avatar with really detailed pain points, really detailed objections, detailed routine, like all of that stuff, then it's way easier to make like really specific ad creatives. And then also, for example, landing pages, copy on the pages, product images, and videos, right? And that's really the main thing. It's not like a magical hack that you can just push on the page. It's rather that you just have to take the time. And I say this a lot. You just have to take the time to understand your target audience and your customer. And that's also a huge competitive advantage over time, because if you do understand your target audience better, every single process in your business is going to be better than your competitors, right? From the ad creatives to the media buying, to the copy, to the offer, to the product portfolio, retention, like everything can be improved if you just do really great customer research. So now that we've talked about the different growth stages in e-commerce, that we've broken down how to build a really strong offer, I really want to go into AI. Right? Because AI is, from my perspective, the biggest competitive edge that you're going to have in 2026. So in the next video, I share essentially our SOP of how we work with AI, how we leverage AI for every single step in the journey of e-commerce, how we leverage AI for market research, offer creation, copywriting, funnel testing, ad creation, and everything, right? So I would say, let's get right into the video. I have like one crazy hack in terms of AI too, and also how I like to use AI. Maybe some of you guys have heard of Manus AI. It's really underleveraged. The main thing of how you want to think about AI is that most AI systems, like everything that you know, like ChatGPT, Claude, whatever, they sell you on a certain monthly plan, right? Like $20, $100 per month. And then the only way that they make money is that you essentially use less computing power than they charge you for. And that's how they make money. So you will never get 100% of the computing power for a certain task. So if you say to ChatGPT, please do customer research, it will try to do every shortcut it can to spend as little as possible computing power on you so it can make the most money. And with Manus, you don't pay a monthly retainer. You essentially pay based on the task. And then you can, for example, customer research can be anything from $20 to $2,000, depending on like how much computing power you use. But meaning then it's also like super, super detailed. Because all of these, you've probably used it yourself. It's just really, really bad. And that's the main reason for that. So that's number one. And then number two, in terms of prompt engineering, and this is also a crazy hack that I like to use. I like to do a voice note into GPT with context, and then so I essentially say to one AI, based on my goal, create a prompt, and then I copy paste the prompt into the other AI, right? Because that's like number two in terms of getting the best result. You need a really, really strong prompt. And then you can essentially upload a lot of context saying like, this is my brand, this is my customer avatar, this is my product, here's my product page, yada, yada, yada. Please do a customer avatar research in Reddit and Amazon competitors, whatever. And then like what it will deliver is already going to be really good. But again, like I would still do the manual effort of you're going through your own reviews and also your own customer service, right? Whether that's post-purchase surveys, right, or whether that's custom surveys via email. So, for example, you set up a survey and then you send it out to like 1,000 of your customers, and then you ask them questions to understand the customer avatar. So now that we've talked about the different growth stages, how to dial in your offer, how to leverage AI, and all of that important stuff, the last video that I'm going to share with you are the biggest mistakes that e-commerce entrepreneurs are doing, right? So earlier we talked about the biggest conversion optimization mistakes. Now we're going to talk about the general biggest mistakes that e-commerce entrepreneurs do in their business. What are the biggest mistakes with ads, with funnels, with copy, and every step across the way? So let's get into the video. Biggest problems. Number one is congruency from ad to landing page. That's like number one we see. So a lot of people, they have a certain pain point, certain hook, certain yada, yada, yada in the ad creative, and they push it to like a landing page. And with landing page, I just mean the first page, can also be home page, collection page, product page, whatever. And that's not congruent. You talk about pain point 1, 2, 3 in the ad, and then on the PDP in the first image, it's pain point 4, 5, 6, and it doesn't match. So that's number one. You want to think about the whole customer journey to make it like super smooth and super congruent. Like that's by far number one. Number two is the offer. So this is how I think about offer, right? So an offer is just, or like a really strong offer is just selling a really high perceived value for your customer for a fraction of the price. Like how much is it worth for a young mother, 30 years old, and she's super sad and unconfident because her skin is bad and she doesn't feel attractive anymore to solve this problem. Potentially 500,000, couple $1,000, right? And then you sell her a product for $50. And the relation of that is really great. And that really ties back into this understanding of the customer avatar, right? Because you can only create a high perceived value if you have this great understanding of the customer, right? So that's number two. The problem with that is most people sell stuff too generic, right? So they don't go deep enough. They say, yeah, this is a supplement for women and it's great and it helps you with with skin and bad skin and acne, right? But they that's like surface for me, right? So just So this would be surface level, and super specific would be let's say like a kit for 30-year-old young mothers who um, So this would be like a
Yeah.
super specific, right? And you can see the difference. And then just imagine your customer reads through this, and then like this would be number one. Yes, you sell a supplement for women for bad skin, but this would be super specific, right? You sell like a welcome kit, whatever, for young mothers in their 30s who don't feel attractive anymore because they just got a child, and that translates into super bad impact on their self-esteem and the relationship that they have to their husband, right? And that's the main thing that most people, they do marketing at this level, and that just doesn't really cut through the noise nowadays, while you have to do marketing at this level. So I would say like those are by far the biggest things. And then, yeah, you already mentioned this trust, right? Most people just have reviews and that's good, but trust is a lot deeper than that. Like trust also includes, for example, authority figures. So based on what you say, that could be a doctor, that could be a personal trainer, that could be a fashion influencer, whatever, whatever. Or for example, I mean, nowadays a lot of dropshippers do this, like press releases, like Forbes, Glamour,
Mm.
whatever, whatever. But you want to think about trust to really capture like all of these, right? Like you want to have reviews, of course, but then you also want to have social proof. You want to have authority figures. You want to have press releases, right? So you want to also talk about behind the brand, right? So this is also what a lot of people missing, like the team. So we actually just ran a split test for like a big watch company where we implemented we showcased the team on the homepage, like an image of the team, and that increased their conversion rate by like 8%, right? So you can just see how essential trust is. And most people, they just do this and they miss like all of these other things. And how to figure out, it's mostly just data. Whether that's, for example, you remember I showed you like the high level funnel we built in Google Analytics, like looking at the drop off points. Do most people bounce on the landing page? Do they drop off on the product page? Do they drop off in the checkout, right? So you can figure out all of that by understanding the data of your funnel and the metrics, right? First of all, obviously on the front end, like, do you have great metrics in the, for example, Facebook Ads Manager in terms of hook rate, scroll stop rate and click-through rate? And then secondly, do you have a great click-through from landing page to offer? Do you have a high add to cart rate? Do you have a good drop-off from add to cart to conversion rate? Like all of those specific data points essentially. And then you can really quickly figure out like where's the main bottleneck in the business. So hope you got a lot of value out of this, right? And the main reason that we continuously get invited to do these consulting calls with a lot of entrepreneurs is simply that we have a really unique insight into a lot of different brands across all different niches, right? We see what works with brands doing 7, 8, 9, and even sometimes 10 figures per year in Germany, in Europe, in Australia, and even the United States, right? In every single niche you can imagine with every single product, right? We have brands like IM8 that are currently working with us doing over $10 million per month and hire us to help them with their marketing and funnels and split testing on page, right? So if you want to get access to all of these insights that I shared with you on this call today, and also get access into all of the proven funnels, templates, and SOPs that we have inside of our firm, then click on the link in the description and schedule a call with me and my team. On this call, we're going to look at your funnel, your KPIs, and your brand, and let you know how we can implement all of these systems into your brand to help you scale way faster and way more profitable. So I'll see you on that call.